Good life, everyone. I'm W.G. Scott, author of the Billy Weird book series, and today we have a special guest, our kitty, right here, Cuddles. She's going to be a treasure hunter too. But today is week 3 of 9 weeks to reveal 9 treasure casks buried across America, with one in Canada. In 1982, again, Byron Preiss published this book, The Secret, A Treasure Hunt, also available on Amazon. And he had 12 treasure casks, and only 3 have been found after 40 years. So today we're going to look at New York City, and I won't make you wait till the end to give you the treasure location. The treasure is located in Battery Park in New York City on the west side of the 1905 train depot, and I'll give you the details of that as we go through this. First, let's look. I'm not sure how good the quality is on this, but we'll look at the painting first. I don't know if you can even see this door, which that's what I think it is. I think it's the door on the Hugh Carey ventilation building on the north side of the park. This is a silhouette of a church that you can see in the distance. This is, I guess, supposed to represent the Statue of Liberty, which can be seen from the park. This clock is important. The time on it is 11 o'clock. Remember that. The burgundy and the beige squares, those are in the park on the north side. We'll look at those, and let's see. The bottom of this is the outline of Manhattan, and Battery Park would be right down here, and of course here's the gemstone right near it. So let's go to the riddle. In the shadow of the gray giant, that's where this is buried, and this is the Gray Giant. It's the Alexander Hamilton U.S. Custom House on the east side of the park. It's across the street on the east side. This is a satellite view. This is the Alexander Hamilton U.S. Custom House. And as you can see, in the shadow of it is the 1905 train depot. That's where the cask is buried. Let's see, the next line. We're going to skip through some of this kind of quick just for time's sake. Find the arm that extends over the slender path in summer. I think that represents another statue, monument in the park. You'll often hear a whirring sound, cars abound. I think that applies to the ventilation building, the Hugh Carey ventilation building. There's huge fans on top. It forces air down into the underground tunnel that goes under the park. And of course, cars abound. They're all driving under there. It says, although the sign nearby speaks of Indy's native, which everybody says that's Alexander Hamilton, the natives still speak of him of hard word in 3 volumes. I'm not going to deal with that, but the natives, I think, represents some of the heads that are on the side of the U.S. Custom House. They're Indian heads, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. But here's the clue to the spot. Take twice as many east steps as the hour. And remember, the hour was 11 o'clock, so it'd be 22 steps or more. And this is, I haven't found anybody that figured this out yet. From the middle of one branch of the V. I think the V is referring to like the V train or the B train, A train, whatever it is. But I think it's referring to the train. And of course, the middle of one branch would be from the middle of the depot. That's where it's at. And it says, look down when you're at the dig spot, and I'm hoping this is in a flower bed there, because in the last 40 years, there's been a lot of construction in the park. It may be under a sidewalk, but I don't think so. It says, look down and see simple roots, which the park is famous for their sycamore trees. They're all scattered throughout the park, and sycamore trees are notorious for the roots coming up out of the ground and just being gnarled everywhere. So I think that's what that speaks of. And it also says, in rhapsodic man's soil. Again, I think that refers to the sycamore trees, which many times the wood would be used to make musical instruments. And then last line, or gaze north toward the Isle of Bee. If you're standing at the dig spot and you look north, and we'll go through some of these photos now. If you look north, you'll see this building, and on the side of this building, you see all of these very decorative, for lack of a better term, plaques. This is in the painting. The burgundy and the beige is just upside down in the painting. Also, the Isle of Bee. This one says Liverpool under it, and there's another one that says Southampton. So I think we've got our Isle of Britain covered. This is a church you can see from the park, which the silhouette is in the painting. This lion is in the waves. I don't think I showed you that. It's in the foam of the waves. If you can see, that's kind of the outline of a lion there. And also one other thing while we're here. People say that the striations here, I guess that's the right word, it resembles the bark on these sycamore trees that are in the park. And let's see. This is the 1905 train depot. And I'll zoom in on this clock on the next one. It's important. Because if you can see this, see the little circles, little rings on the hands? It's just like the ones in the painting. On the side of the U.S. Custom House, there are these heads. I'll give you a close-up of one. Of course, they're Native Americans. That's what I think is when it refers to the natives. This is the bark on the sycamore trees, and as you can see, they're scattered throughout the park. And this is the door in the painting, which is north of, on the north side of Battery Park. And just for fun, I read somewhere that this was the front door of the secret headquarters for the Men in Black in the movie. Kind of fun. Anyway, so let's go back. Got one more comment on take twice as many east steps as the hour. Now, if you actually go east from the depot, you're going to end up in the middle of the street between the depot and the U.S. Custom House. That doesn't work. But when I first read this, I thought, why did he say east steps when most people would say take so many steps east? Well, I think it's a play on words, which he does a lot. I think it would reference like an east wind, which an east wind doesn't blow east. It comes from the east and blows west. So with that in mind, if you take west steps, or steps west, 22 or more from the middle of the 1905 train depot, as best I can tell on Google Earth, you end up in a flower bed, of course with sycamore trees in there, and that should be the dig spot. That's my solve. Have a great day and happy treasure hunting.